What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry about
Nah,
that.
I will fuck him
we're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will.
No.
We're good.
I will
Sorry
fuck
about
him
that.
up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that,
Nah, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will.
You kill me!
Yo, what up, y'all? I'm back with another video. And today I wanted to speak to y'all about men controlling their anger, because it is definitely an issue that is getting worse in whatever community that we want to speak on, whether it's the black community, the white community, society, people as a whole. Men controlling their anger has been a big issue lately, and it's only getting worse. And the clip that you saw earlier definitely has something to do with anger. If you can't tell, Roger Jackson, and if that name doesn't sound familiar, he is Rampage Jackson, the MMA, and you could say the famous MMA fighter's son. He actually went crazy on a wrestler during a live stream. The first clip shows them outside and they were talking, and I swear it was a publicity stunt that was supposed to lead to them actually getting in the ring and fighting each other. Because if you look closely, and some people may have just looked at the clip and said, oh, he hit him over the head with a can, but in actuality, he hit him over the head with the can, but he didn't at the same time, because we all know that wrestling is not real. If you're a kid watching this, wrestling is real. But no, for everybody else, we all know that wrestling is not real, but they also have their way of hitting people. They also have their way of, doing their stunts where people do not get hurt. And if you look at the clip that I played for you earlier, when he hit him over the head with the can, he placed his left hand over Roger Jackson's head, and he smacked the can on his hand. This is one way that they stop themselves from injuring the person that they are either punching, or the person that they are either kicking, the person that they are hitting, the person that they are smashing something over their head. This is the way that they keep from injuring that person. So that's exactly what that wrestler did. And then he held him by the neck and the arm. Now, I honestly believe that Rampage Jackson's son, Roger Jackson, he got a little angry at the way that he handled him. I don't think it was the fact that he got hit over the head, because as you could tell, he was not hurt. If anything was hurt, it was his pride and his ego. And so I think that's when the plot to get revenge was concocted. And he wanted to get revenge by any means necessary. So what did he do? He patiently waited for the match to begin. And again, it was live streamed, and he waited. He sat on the sidelines, as you could see. And then when the moment arose, he got into that ring, and the rest was history, as you can tell. Now, at first I thought it was, a stunt, of course. He got into the ring and he was supposed to body slam the wrestler. And the wrestler's name is 𝐶, by the way. He slammed him onto the mat, which we all know is not hard, by the way, because the stage is a prop, which they use so that they don't injure themselves. But the way he slammed him, you could tell that 𝐶 was hurt. And then he got on top of him and started punching and punching and punching and wailing and going off nonstop. And you could even say that some of the other wrestlers, they should have jumped in a long time ago. They should have jumped in after he threw the first punch, but they did not. What did they do? They stood back. Some of them approached him and tried to put an arm on him. No, you were supposed to jump on that man's back and get him off of him. I don't care if he started swinging on you. You were supposed to fight back. This is another reason why we know that wrestling is not real, because they were kind of afraid to jump in the ring with Roger Jackson, who is an MMA fighter from what I was told, but they were afraid to stop that man from going off on their fellow wrestler. And that's why I wanted to speak to y'all about controlling your anger as men. You have to control your anger. You have to learn how to control your anger. I know it's easier said than done, because sometimes your ego and your pride gets in the way of that, and all you see is red and you cannot control yourself. But as men, if we don't control ourselves, then guess what? Society is going to be worse off than it already is. This is the reason why you have men in society who will do the most egregious things to other people. And then you have those men who are stoic and able to control their emotions and able to control their feelings. That's why I'm saying that those other wrestlers, it doesn't matter if you were to get hurt or not, you were supposed to jump in and stop that man. Even the referee, you could tell that the referee was afraid. Now, in that clip, you could see a little blood. I know you saw some blood. That man was hurt to the point that 𝐶 was hospitalized and he had to have surgery. Now, there are people that reported how heinous this was and that 𝐶's insides were coming out. No, I doubt that. But when they say that he was hospitalized and had to have surgery, it makes you think twice. How badly injured was he? Because you're only going to have surgery if you were badly injured. You're only going to undergo surgery if something is seriously wrong. And doctors said that he was badly injured, but he is actually in stable condition now, not critical anymore, but it was critical. And so those other men were supposed to jump in, because if we don't have men to jump in when another man loses control, which is exactly what happened to Roger Jackson, which is exactly what happened to him, his ego and his pride got in the way. For whatever reason, he decided to assault this wrestler, then we're going to have a society full of men who just go crazy on each other, full of men who go out of control, and then everyone's life is in danger. You have to remember something. There always has to be a group of men who will protect the women and children, because men can do the most heinous things to each other. Men, when it comes to violence, men can do the worst things to each other. Society would not be what it is if we didn't have men who were willing to step up, who were willing to go in the front lines, who were willing to fight and die for their country, for their people, for their communities. We would not have a society at all, but we do. And so you as a man have to learn how to control your anger. Your anger could get the best of you. And another example of this is Shawn Kemp, the famous basketball player. He actually just got sentenced, and he didn't get a harsh sentence at all. I don't even believe he got jail time, but he did get sentenced for a shooting that happened a couple of years ago, because he lost his temper and someone, I believe, robbed him, and he got pissed off and he got mad and he shot at the car while it was driving away. Now, we all know, if you know the laws, you know that you cannot shoot at someone who is getting away, someone who is fleeing. It doesn't matter if they're in your home or if they're in your car. If you shoot at them, then guess what? It's your fault. They will lock you up as well. Not just the person who robbed you, not just the person who stole your property. They will lock you up too, because it is against the law to shoot at somebody who is fleeing. And Shawn Kemp even admits that he lost his temper. And he has come out to say that men need to control their tempers, because what happens when you lose your temper is that you have to suffer the consequences. And there are too many men in jail, in prison right now, who lost their temper, and guess what? They had to suffer the consequences. There are too many men in jail, in prison right now, who lost their temper and took someone's life for no apparent reason at all. And guess what? Their life was also taken. Because once you go behind those bars, you are literally deceased. You are literally gone. Once they take you out of society, you are deceased as well. So now 2 lives are messed up. Why? Because you lost your temper. You got pissed off. You got angry. Instead of taking your anger out in the boxing ring, instead of taking your anger out at the gym, instead of taking your anger out on a joystick or remote control, a video game, go home, do some meditation, do something. Do anything except for get violent. Because violence only does what? It begets violence. Violence only creates more violence. And then we will have a society that has no rules, laws, or regulations, and a bunch of people just doing crazy things to each other. And trust me, when men get violent, it gets dangerous for everybody. When men get violent, it gets dangerous for everybody. This is the reason why you must be stoic. This is the reason why you must find other avenues to express your anger, or else you're going to end up just like Raja Jackson, who now is banned from two wrestling platforms. He is banned, kicked out. One indefinitely. He could never return back to the other one. Why? Because he lost his temper. I can't begin to tell you how much people have lost because they lost their temper. I can't begin to tell you how much people have lost because they could not control their temper and they allowed their emotions to get the best of them. And it does not matter your upbringing either. It doesn't matter what type of household you grew up in. You need to find another avenue to express that anger. You need to find another avenue to get that anger out, because if you don't, you're going to end up in two places, dead or in jail. And if not those two, then you will suffer the consequences, which is exactly what is happening to Raja Jackson right now and Shawn Kemp. And do you want to be one of those men? No, you do not. Now, ask me how I control my anger. It's simple. It's very simple. I think about the consequences first. Before I react, I think about the consequences and where my life is going to head, because I'm headed in one direction, and if I lose my temper and I get angry and I do something stupid, then my life is going to head in the other direction. And trust me, I cannot go to jail. I cannot go to prison. That's not a place for me. Trust and believe, when I was younger, and I went there, I already knew that this is not a place that I want to end up. And so what did I do? I started to clean up my act. And so what did I do? I started to think before I acted, especially when I got angry. Because anger, when I tell you, is a green-eyed monster that will cause you to do the craziest and stupidest things. And then the next thing you know, you wake up in the morning in that cell, in that orange jumpsuit, wondering what happened. Well, if you replay everything that happened in your mind, you will see that you lost your temper due to what? Two simple things: your ego and your pride, which is going to destroy you if you allow it to. So please practice being stoic. If you need to start reading up on what being stoic is, then do that. Or else you will end up like some of these men who are suffering the consequences now for losing their tempers. Raja Jackson was wrong for what he did, and I hope he does suffer the consequences so that he learns from the mistake that he made. And his father, Rampage Jackson, came out and he made a statement, a public statement, stating that he does not condone his son's actions, which I applaud him for. But at the same time, he also tried to make an excuse by saying that Raja Jackson was suffering a concussion and that might have led to him losing control. Now, that's not, and I repeat, that is not a reason or excuse for you to lose your temper, because if you were suffering the concussion, you shouldn't have been at that match to begin with. So again, y'all need to control your temper. You need to learn how to control your temper, especially you young guys out there who are growing up without fathers, because once you lose your temper, you're going to lose your life. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.